Hey cadets, welcome back for another episode of Air Academy News. I'm Sam Stubing.
And I'm Morgan Wadlick. We appreciate all the support from our first episode last week.
With all the views and feedback, we've put together a great show for you.
Now it's time for Random News, where we reveal events happening right here at Air Academy.
Overall, homecoming week was a huge success. There was awesome school spirit, a tight win from our football team against Stanley Creek, and a great dance. Though there was some challenging weather, there were no major incidents during the dance, and it was a great night to be a cadet. This was definitely one for the books, and we're looking forward to more dances coming up this year.
Speaking of homecoming, let's talk about the infamous blue powder from last week. A famous homecoming tradition at Air Academy is throwing colored chalk after halftime at the football game. This year has caused some disturbance, however, with lasting impacts that haven't been seen before, like cases of dyed hair, clothes, and physical discomfort from breathing in the powder.
I took a shower, and when I got out, my whole head was just like dark blue, and I washed it for about like 3.5 hours, and then I did like a baking soda and vinegar mask in my hair and like woke up in the morning and washed it, and it got the majority of it out, but like on homecoming I still had a bunch of like green blue tint in my hair.
Next up, we want to send out our congratulations to the Air Academy Marching Band. Over the weekend, our very talented cadets competed in their first regional band competition of the year hosted by Legacy High School. There were 25 bands from all over the region competing for the top spot. Our cadets have been known to place high in this competition in previous years. They continued their successful reign this year by placing second in their division and third overall. Jesse, a leader from the drumline, feels the group is hitting their stride as they roll closer to the state competition.
This year, the culture is super different. There's a lot more people who are just ready to work every day, and that makes all the difference.
As college deadlines continue to creep closer, our own Air Academy seniors are having to make tough decisions regarding their future. Luckily, the upcoming visits are lending a helping hand. College visits are happening in the library, including military visits, ROTC, and colleges such as University of Wyoming, Colorado Boulder, and University of Alabama. You can find more information on the bulletin boards outside student services, as well as on the Schoology Class Of page.
Every week in National Links, we examine a national news story through the lens of Air Academy students and staff. This week, we took a look at the new Instagram regulations. There's a new policy on Instagram that specifically concerns students. This policy involves the creation of a new feature called Teen Accounts. This feature automatically sets new or existing Instagram accounts for the users under the age of 18 to private. Additionally, it restricts notifications after certain hours and enables parental controls by default, with the settings being changed only by parents. There will also be a new setting for parents to choose what the students will be able to see and set a maturity level for the content. This move came up after the U.S. Surgeon General warned that excessive social media could pose a profound risk to mental health of children.
I think it's just the best, not only for mental health, but just privacy reasons for minors. And even if we are thinking about digital footprint, especially as high schoolers are going off into college, just for safety purposes, and again, the digital footprint, the best thing to do is have things private.
Each week in Hot Takes, our staff of reporters dive into a controversial topic, present both sides of the argument, and let you, the viewer, decide your take. Connor Peterzak is here with more. Hi, Connor.
Thanks, Morgan. This week's hot topic is about the new cell phone policy at Air Academy. This new policy is a big change for all the teachers and students with their strict rules, not just for core classes, but study halls and TAs too.
The new cell phone policy says students should only have their phones out by teacher permission and academic purposes only. If students were to use their phone without permission, then teachers can take away their phones, and most classrooms have a phone jail now. There are a series of consequences for students that continue breaking this rule, the most serious being potential suspension. Many teachers support this new policy because they see a decrease in distractions, missing assignments, and low grades. The teacher and administration believe it will limit cyberbullying and sharing inappropriate content during school hours. Additionally, proponents of eliminating cell phones in class hope this will encourage more face-to-face interaction and healthier relationships.
I thought, oh my gosh, this is going to be so much work. But in reality, it's actually not been that much work. And it's actually helping me a lot with like managing a lot of students in the same room at one time and keeping them focused and engaged. I've seen a huge increase in their ability to turn work in on time, to stay focused, and to just manage a grade that they're happy with.
Not everyone agrees that eliminating cell phones from classrooms is a good idea. Cell phones are a part of everyday adult life, and some students feel the new policy eliminates a real-world environment where cell phones are omnipresent. Turner Grove feels like these changes are more of a group punishment instead of targeting the minority that are addicted to being on their phones.
It's trying to discipline us without giving us the opportunity. Like they just want a right to take it away. Like maybe for some students it's better that way, but for others that can control it, it's an unfair thing. Like we're growing up with technology. This is never going to go away. If anything, it just keeps going and it'll advance more and more. And we just got to learn to deal with it. It's going to be a part of our everyday lives, and I think they're just handling it pretty poorly.
Now that's a hot topic. Both sides have really good points. If you have an idea for hot takes, visit the Air Academy News Idea Dropbox on Schoology in the Class Of page. Morgan, back to you.
Fresh Faces is a new segment where we'll sit down with a new staff member here at Air Academy and learn about their journey.
My name's Aaron Aguayo. I'm a school resource officer with the El Paso County Sheriff's Office out of the Patrol Division. And my everyday duties are to ensure that everything's running smoothly at the school. If there's a criminal incident, I investigate it, handle it accordingly, and just making sure that good, positive relationships are being built, that the school is safe, that there are no threats. Like I said, that everything's running smoothly. So my career has included a lot of different assignments. I spent some time at the jail, the last several years on patrol. I've been a hostage negotiator, driving instructor, de-escalation instructor, and this is something I've always wanted to do. It's a natural progression for me in my career, and it's just fun. I mean, honestly, I look forward to coming to work. I can't believe I get paid to do it half the time. Just something I wanted to do, and I love the atmosphere, love being here, so I decided to go for it. My favorite part of the job, I would say, is the students. Building those relationships, it's fun. It's just fun being here and getting to know the students, what they like to do, playing sports with them.
Golazo! Goal, 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 goal!
Doing high fives, just building those relationships. It doesn't even feel like work to me. As far as my home life, I have 2 kids, 15 and 13, that I spent most of my time with, and it's great. I mean, whether we're playing sports or going to the movies, watching a movie at home, hanging out, whatever it is, we have a great time together. We do all sorts of fun things. In addition to that, I enjoy going to the gym as much as I can, staying active, playing sports with kind of my friends who are in leagues, things like that. But that's about it for my home life. It's pretty good.
It seems like there are a billion different clubs and activities to join at Air Academy. For this week's Club Spotlight, we take a look at the Speech and Debate Club. This week for Club Spotlight, we are highlighting a club that's all about using their voices to make a difference, speech and debate. Forget whispering in the hallway. These students craft arguments, hone their public speaking skills, and are learning to think critically about the world around them. They meet 2 times a week, Monday and Wednesday from 3 to 5:15. We spoke with a student in the club about what makes speech and debate so special.
The club really promotes speaking up for what you believe in and having a good, strong public presence. So they really just want you to be able to talk about what you want to talk about, and it's just about engaging in what you want to engage in.
There are 65 years worth of alumni that have graduated from Air Academy. In Alum Tracker, we catch up with those graduates that have gone on to do amazing things.
What was your time at Air Academy like, and how did that affect your future career? Air Academy High School was just, it was, I know it was pretty dreamy growing up. You know, it was very fun to go to school there. I mean, I'm sure there was a lot of teenage angst. I don't remember any of it. I just remember having a really great time and playing sports and, you know, going to class and goofing around in the hallways and, you know, parties on the weekends and, you know, basketball trips and football trips. Learned a lot. Probably inflicted my share of headaches on the teachers there and on the administration, but I would not change a single thing about going to Air Academy.
That's crazy that a big-time national writer graduated right here at our academy.
That's super cool. I can't wait to see who we get to talk to next.
Now we're going to go to Lexi Lukeman with the weather. How you doing, Lex?
Thanks, Morgs. I'm here with the weekly weather for the week of October 6th through 12th in Colorado Springs, Colorado. As we are through spring seasons and moving into the fall, the temperatures are slightly dropping, with the highs being in the high 60s and the lows being in the mid-40s. Wind is little this week, and so is chances of precipitation, so don't forget to water your gardens.
We didn't stray far from home in this week's Culture Kitchen segment. Our own Eve Walker stepped into the kitchen with Air Academy Spanish teacher Joan Naughton to make some delicious enchiladas.
Welcome to this week's episode of Culture Kitchen. We have Senora Naughton here.
Hola.
What are you going to make for us this week?
Today I am featuring enchiladas rojas de queso this is my mom's dish, I guess, from Mexico. When we were growing up, she would always have dinner ready early after school, so typically it was 4 o'clock, and enchiladas rojas de queso, so that's cheese enchiladas with a red sauce, were one of our favorites, and she often made it for us to have it for dinner after school.
Perfect. Do you want to tell us how you make it?
Yes. So enchiladas rojas, roja is a color, so it's just the sauce. It's chile rojo. So these are red dried chili pods. This is called chile guajillo. This is chile ancho. Ancho means wide, so you can see it's wide, but they're dry, so it's flat. And this is chile guajillo. And the way to make this sauce, I didn't bring the garlic, but you de-seed these. So I usually cut off the stems and then trim it in the center, and then let all the seeds fall out. And the dry pod, once it's open and de-seeded, all of them, you put them in boiling water. Then you cover the pot. Once it's boiling, stick them in there, cover the pot, and let them steep for a while, for maybe 5 minutes, so they can soften. In the meantime, cut up maybe 2 or 3 garlic cloves, stick them in the blender. Once these are soft, transfer them to the blender, add salt. Sometimes I use garlic salt, it gives it a better flavor. Blend it all, add a little bit of chicken broth, like a half a cup to 1 cup, depending on how many pods you use. So the more you use, you don't want the sauce to be too thick.
Okay.
You want it to be a little bit runny, so it can stick to the tortilla but not be too thick. Anyhow, once you blend it, you cook the sauce in a pan with a little bit of oil. Just let it simmer a little bit. Then the tortillas, to prepare them, before you dip them into the sauce, you dip them for 5-10 seconds into hot oil. Just all I do is stick one in there, count to 4 seconds, flip it over, do the other side, and then set them on a paper towel on a plate to absorb the oil.
What does the hot oil do?
It softens the tortilla, but it also gives it a delicious flavor. It's like like a tortilla chip almost, but it's not crispy. So then after you heat these up in oil, then you dip them in the sauce. I usually just stack up the ones in oil, then I stack them up as I dip them in the sauce, stack them in with a red chili sauce on them. Then you add this is queso fresco. It's a crumbling cheese from Mexico. They're round, so you can also find them at any store where they have Mexican cheeses. You can find queso asadero, which is a melty cheese. This is queso fresco, crumbly cheese. So this is It's not sour or anything, it's a delicious flavor. You fill the tortilla with the cheese. Oh, and I also add a little bit of diced onion to the fresh cheese. You mix it all up. This is already mixed with onion. Then you place it on the tortilla that's already with the sauce, roll them up, and add them to, you can use refried beans and Mexican rice as a side, or lettuce, rice, and beans. That's typically how the plate is served. I have the dish prepared. It's in the oven staying warm. This is what they should look like. The tortilla is already dipped in the sauce and rolled up with the cheese, and side of beans and a side of rice.
That looks awesome.
It's delicious. And a lot of times people will top it with some cheese. It makes it look much better. And you can add
this dish?
It is not at all.
Not at all.
No, it's just a delicious flavor. So this is not hot. It's not a hot spice or sauce.
Perfect.
It's very good.
Man, those enchiladas look really good. You know, my favorite Mexican food is
I didn't ask.
Okay.
But your makeup looks really good.
Thank you.
Come back next week for an all-new show full of all-new segments.
Thank you for watching this week's show. Be sure to subscribe and check out our Air Academy Instagram page. And as always,
Scodettes!